is the first time for me. My name is Justine, and I coordinate the Lépinoc program at NOE, a French NGO dedicated to biodiversity conservation. And today I'm going to talk about the engagement of citizens to monitor moths with automated devices. So in France, 95% of butterfly species are nocturnals, which is quite a lot. And I guess you all know that they are essential species for ecosystem, but they are declining really fast. So it's important to study them now. Facing us a lot of pressures, always the same: urbanization, pollution, light pollution, pesticide, habitat fragmentation. And we are also facing a lack of knowledge on population dynamics, ecology in general. At the same time, these species remain largely unknown to the general public, and they are also suffering from a bad perception from the public. Like, usually people think they are kind of ugly. To be honest, I don't know why. Insects and moths are really beautiful creatures. So why citizen science for moths? Because moths are everywhere. If you want to study them, you need large spatial and temporal coverage. Professional monitoring alone is no longer sufficient. But good news for you: automated tools can reduce technical barriers. And if you involve citizens, you can increase your data volume and at the same time strengthen awareness and engagement, which helps you to support long-term monitoring. But what is citizen science? In Europe, we have the European Citizen Science Association, who wrote 10 principles. I won't give you the list, it will be too long. But just to give you one big definition, for me, citizen science is not just about volunteers collecting data. It's a collaborative research approach involving citizens in the scientific process to produce reliable knowledge with transparency, open data, and share benefits. So Lépinoc, what is it? A citizen science project for the conservation of moths. Here we are. Different objectives: raise awareness of nocturnal biodiversity and pollinators in general, improve knowledge of moths, their ecology, access their vulnerability and conservation status. And something that is really important for us is to use moths as indicators of ecosystem health and restoration. We have this big project in NOE where we help local authorities to build restoration action. So using moths as an indicator is kind of really cool to see if this project is working or not. Lépinoc, the origins. So I was not there at that time, but this is the first device. At that time, they also used an application to take some pictures at precise time. And yeah, some stickers on a white sheet to do the test. But today, today it's a bit better. We have this really nice device with a UV lamp on the top, a white sheet. So this UV lamp is connected to a battery and a timer. And on the other side, you have the smartphone. On the smartphone, you have a dedicated mobile application that we use to take the pictures over the night. So the device is really easy to install and use. In 5 years, almost 12,000 identification for 250 species. It's not that much, I think, for you, because you are used to deal with millions of pictures, but just keep in mind that it was collected by volunteer citizens. So if you put it that way, it's really cool. Last year, we had 32 sites in almost every region in France, and the network of participants is quite diverse. That's, I think, one of the strengths of this program. We are touching NGO, airports, local authorities, farmers, motivated citizens. So we have access to different kinds of landscapes, like public garden, private garden, agricultural field. So we have so many different and interesting data. The protocol is quite simple. We defined it with a scientific committee. So you choose your location, an open site, and once a lunar month, at least from June to August, so the best period to observe moths, you place your device outside, you launch the mobile application on your smartphone, on the smartphone dedicated for the project. Then you go back to bed, and the next day you come and you can connect the smartphone to a Wi-Fi terminal to upload your photo and consult everything on the web platform. So yeah, it's really easy. After one night, you have a nice picture of moth by doing nothing. So this is some screenshot of the mobile application, quite easy. You create your new session. You have an automated calculation of sunset time according to your GPS position. And yeah, as I said, you come back the next day and beautiful photo of Moth. So yeah, the web platform is really important for us because we are a citizen science program. So we want to maintain a continuous connection with the engaged community. So this helps us to support participants and also have a big view of all their sites and sessions, and also to share data and results. Our data infrastructure is quite simple. I think you understood. So we have the device, the web platform, the Labelli platform where we do the identification. Right now, we are doing everything manually with Lepidopteris experts. But good news, by the end of the year, we will have antenna. So we are working on the implementation of antenna for pre-analysis of the data. And then, yeah, the usable data. Here you have some really nice picture of Moths taken by Lépinoc. And as I said, right now we are doing the annotation and identification manually with Lepidopteris experts. Yeah, one last thing about citizen science is that you want to keep people engaged all the time. You want to keep the motivation. So we have to talk to them. That's why we have a world strategy about this. We have a webinar before each season to welcome new participants and also to give some updates to all participants. We also have a monthly newsletter where we share some nice paper about Moths, nice articles. We share the results and we occasionally meet up. So the next one will be next year with a really nice showcase of the new device we are working on. To share the results, we provide this kind of report, one general and one per site. So you have all different kind of information, the number of sessions, the number of identification, also depending on the taxonomic level, the family most seen, and also the top 3 of the species most observed. For example, last year, the winner was Alimentria dispar in France. And last year, we also got a rare species, so it was kind of cool to also talk about it. Here is an example of a site-specific report. So here it's for Paris Orly Airport. Maybe some of you know this airport. Okay, some lesson we learned from the current Lépinoc device. What works well? This device is accessible, low-tech, which allows broad participation, and participants can easily take part without advanced skills, which leads to strong initial engagement. But there are some current limitations when we try to scale up. For example, on the hardware side, the device lacks robustness and the setup can vary between users, which leads to variability in the data. The pipeline is also a challenge with manual steps, delayed feedback, so it can decrease usability and also the motivation of participants. The protocols, there's some tension as well. If you have something too complex, you lose motivation. But if you have something too simple, you lose the scientific value. So you have to find the good balance. So currently the system is working fine, but is not yet perfectly designed for scalable and robust deployment. So we knew that we had to change our device to upgrade it. So to do that, we decided to do a big comparison of existing automating insect monitoring system. So I'm pretty sure you know some of the device there. The idea was not to say, okay, this one is better than this one. The idea was just to think about the main characteristic of each device and to think, okay, we need for citizen science project this kind of characteristic. What can we do? So this analysis is still ongoing. So we will share it within the Insect AI community and within the Wildlab community really soon. Some perspective for the end of the year for us, because the project now opens the way to scaling up the program. So we will have a scientific and technical committee in June where we will talk with scientists about hardware protocols, what can we do. Hopefully in July, we will be able to start the prototype and to do some field testing for the new device. In October, as I said, we will have antenna ready to go for the next season. And in November, we will integrate all the feedback we will get from the field. And there's also something we want to do in parallel, something really important for us. We would like to write some universal guidelines for scaling moth monitoring in citizen science. So this is really for you guys. If you want to start a project like that, anywhere in the world with different ecological or social contexts, this would be the perfect tool to start. So how can we do that? We decided to do the comparison first. Then we are validating insight with experts and the insect AI community. The idea is by the end of this year, beginning of next year, to synthesize everything into a practical guidance report, and we will review, publish, and disseminate the report before June next year, and hopefully we will be able to present it at the next Insect AI annual meeting. Yeah, and so as I said, this is already underway because we did a first workshop at the ICTC, International Conservation Technology Conference in Peru last February. Some of you were there. Thank you, guys. It was helpful. And now we have a more targeted workshop tomorrow. Please join. It will be fun. We'll talk about hardware, software, data, engagement. Really nice. So all these dynamics are helping us to build this international working group on the topic. So yeah. Really, really good dynamics. And yeah, one last word. This project is shortlisted for the Wild Lab Award, so hopefully we will have another funding for this. Thank you very much for your attention.
We have time for 1 or 2 questions.
Stay.
Yes, please. In citizen science for studying up the facts and operating them in the field, but we also thought about integrating citizen scientists in the labeling and the setting of the bounding boxes for the unit.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's something we thought about. Yeah, we were not ready before to do that, but yeah, so we want to improve the device, and we will also improve the mobile application because the device will be different. We'll probably remove the smartphone, have something dedicated to it, like a Raspberry Pi, a camera with a connection to the user smartphone. So on the application, you will be able to do some, a bit like iNaturalist, some identification you guess, and you will have a pre-analysis with the AI. And of course, we will keep the experts in the loop to confirm that the identification were right. Yeah. Yeah, I hope. Thank you. If you have more questions, just come at the coffee break. Thank you.
Thank you, Justine, for a very interesting presentation. And now I will invite our next speaker, Roberto Torres.